Okay, we have a question in hand, like what is the seat of our emotions? In particular, why do some people put their hand on the left side of chest on certain occasions, like say singing national anthem or saying somebody, look, I am saying from my heart. Sometimes you want to uh, emphasize that it is coming from you within, as if there is a faculty deeper than your mind. So the question relates to what is the meaning of the term Hridaya, so to say, in Vedic literature. Let me see if I can write something. Yeah. So I am maybe writing in the Devanagari script, the Sanskrit, but let's see. It is Hridayam, but I am just to, if you are not familiar with this script, this is the Hridaya. This is the word we are talking about. It has two etymology. One is that is what is relevant in upasana or what we call meditation related, where the word is hit. Actually, the word is hit plus I am. Hidayam. As I said, this was supposed to be Hidayam. Ending is, that is just an ending actually. So hit plus I am. This is now, when they get compound word, ta becomes the. You know, this is ta, tha, the. These are dental sounds. So that these are certain rules when consonants and certain vowels come together. Now, this should be interesting because probably this is the origin of the English word heart. Hit. It becomes, probably became when words were traveling more in distance wise, through the oral communication. So this is one etymology. The other etymology is he plus the plus ya. So there are a lot of Sanskrit words where, like Jagat. Jagat is for the universe, but Jagat is made of Ja plus Ga plus Ta. Ja meaning things take birth, Ga meaning they move around for a while, Gaman, and Ta means Tishtati, then they settle down. So Jagat is called Jagat because things take birth, move around for a while, and then they die away, fade away, or things like that. So there are a lot of words, they are compound words in such a manner. Now, this let's look at these two different etymologies. The second one is pertaining to this pumping heart on the chest, left side of the chest, where the word he means earn, to acquire, the is to give, dadati, ya is yati means moving. So the pumping heart is acquiring the blood from all parts of the body, gives it back, and in so doing, it is always moving. So it is a non-stop moving machine. We have to admire this pump here. The moment I was born, I came out of my mother's womb. This became active. And suppose I live 100 years, non-stop, this pump is working, causing a pressure differential of, say, normal blood pressure is 130 and 70, whatever it is. The differential is 60 millimeter of mercury. Mercury has a specific gravity about 13.6, which is about 14, say. So 14 into 60 millimeter is about 1 meter. So just imagine you have a pump which is lifting water from the ground to 1 meter height. A tank is there, it is filling up. But the beauty is it is working non-stop for so many years of our life. This is pumping hard. Now, in the context of meditation, etc., we have meaning from the first etymology. What it's saying is, I am means this heart, this is my heart, this is where. So, Hridaya in the context of meditation is a cave or a space where I live, where my consciousness is residing, my push or atma or soul, whatever you call it. So that ultimate seat of my consciousness in this human body is somewhere in my deep in the skull, somewhere in the head region. There must be a tiny space which, because this is my atma is non-physical, this space must be, I don't know, nanoscale or much smaller than anything we can imagine. So that is called Hridaya Akash. That is a cave where I am residing, and that's where I am sitting. And of course, as I show, keep very often I like to say, you know, I am like this thumb in the fist. So somewhere, if you imagine this is the smallest possible scale, then that's where I am residing. And that space is called Hidayat. So that's where I live there, and I am enveloped by what is called mind, and I am always watching this. It seems like I am watching the external world, but actually I am watching this screen, which very faithfully brings to me everything from the world in 5 dimensions: sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. So, when we say, oh, let's come back to this, what a common man is trying to say. When he says, I am saying from my heart, I feel in my heart. So let's be clear here. The my functions are knowledge, action, and experience. What is called a jnana, karma, and bhog. So jnana, the incoming knowledge is displayed here, and I become aware of it. Action, decisions are taken here and then activated by the outer part of my mind. Now, when it comes to bhog, experiencing, this is where we have discussed rag and dvesh, etc. So when something appears here, I know it. But when I embrace it, when I say it is happening to me, that is discretionary. You don't have to feel like it. But if you are very attached to that event, then it becomes your experience. So that is called as Chid Avasano Bhoga. This is Chit in Chaitanya, means this is the consciousness. When this knowledge thing falls upon this, then it becomes my experience. This is very important to understand. Now, when I say that I know it, say I am talking to my wife, I say, I love you. Now, if these are words, these words are in the mind, and I am merely articulating it, is it not? But when I say my wife, look, I love you from bottom of my heart, something like that, then what am I trying to say? I am trying to say that, I am now trying to say it is not just I am not in the domain of knowledge and action. I am feeling something. So that feeling is somewhere here, the experience. When a say child is with his mother, it's not that he's just knowing his mother, he is feeling something. He's very much 100% part of it. Now that knowledge has really fallen upon him, he's going through that experience. And any experience you cannot really articulate. If somebody asks you, what is the taste of coffee? You have a limited vocabulary, you will just say it. But if you love that coffee really, then, it is slightly more than your mind, because you really, when you take that coffee, you want to thoroughly enjoy it. Then it is becoming your experience. You are not just drinking it fast to run away to some place. You want to enjoy every drop of that coffee. And then you are sitting calm. You are really enjoying it. Then you want this taste to come up to you, so that it becomes a wonderful experience that you can cherish. Now, if somebody asks you, what is the taste of coffee? You will use your vocabulary, but you will never be able to do justice, because what you felt here is indescribable, is it not? So even the worldly things, when they get here, we cannot describe it. The words are, we are at a loss, is it not? Now, when it comes to, meditation and out of the world experience, like yoga is union with him. Then I am also disconnecting from it. Then this is alone, but then this is aware that there is an ocean of that supreme being. Now he is not experiencing the taste of coffee. He is experiencing what is it to be submerged in that infinite ocean of that supreme being. Now this also cannot be articulated, is it not? So this also cannot be expressed what that experience was. For example, nobody can describe what was the nature of Sushupti, the deep, dreamless sleep, is it not? Because these are the experiences when you are disconnect from mind. So I have told you there are two aspects. Even the worldly things fall up to the mind, but when you are too much to it, you want to hold it within yourself. Once it falls here, it becomes indescribable. And of course, there are certain out of the world things like that supreme consciousness that can never be obtained in the mind screen. You have to disconnect from it, and then also they are indescribable. So the point is, when I say I am expressing my deep emotions or something, it is actually from this ultimate seat where I am sitting. It is a layer even beyond my mind, but the word is heart, and often people get confused with this pumping heart. So they may put their hand on the chest, but actually they are trying to say, probably one would say more appropriate thing is one should put your hand here if it has to be placed somewhere. But I think that is not that important. What he feels is, what he is wanting to convey is that he is saying something which he has felt deep inside. It could be due to the rag and due to the bhogvritti. Now, these are technical terms. When the knowledge is here, that is called jnana vritti, or buddhi vritti, or chitta vritti. Something is. When I have borrowed it and I am saying it is mine, then it is bhogvritti. You know, of course, Patanjali is trying to teach us to get away from chittavritti. And of course, the very first thing is not to let it become bhogvritti. So we always talk in terms of vairagya, detachment. So, and then even to diminish whatever is happening. But we are talking about common people and what they actually mean. And, there is a, somebody says sun is rising. Of course, we understand what he means, but strictly speaking, it is not a correct statement because sun is there where it was. It is earth is rotating, and it appears that sun is rising. So these are called as, vikalpa vritti. You know, the words mean something else, but the actual meaning is something else. And but listener understands what the speaker has in his mind. So communication goes on. So when somebody says, I am speaking from my heart, he puts his hand on the chest. We know what he implies by that, but sure, this is not the heart really, because this is our non-voluntary function which happens. These are certain forces, like brain must function, otherwise I will die. This must function, otherwise I will collapse. So this is that pumping heart. But actual, that in the sense, what is my me? Where am I residing? This is that Akash, Hidaya Akash. So, and I think last time when we discussed, I pointed out in classical times, in India at least, we have that in our literature, like a child taking leave from his father, mother, or teacher, something like that. On such occasion, the teacher would come close to the child and put his nose over the head of the child, as if it's not quite kissing, it is smelling as if I am getting close to you. So that time the focus was on the child's head, as if this is your hridaya and I am coming close to it. So nowadays, of course, we embrace in this manner we say as if my heart to the other person's heart, let's come together. So beyond the shaking of hand, we want to meet where our hearts meet, and that time people come close to each other as if this is my heart. But there was a time when this was understood that this is the heart of a person. Have I taken care of
Oh,
your?
yes.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
And sir,